Hey everyone, this is Ryan, and today we are talking all about Orion Protocol. And this is the project that I like to call the biggest sleeping giant in crypto because I really believe that could be the case and that 2021 is going to be massive for this project. And make sure you watch this video all the way through because I'm going to tell you exactly why I believe that and why I think this is a huge potential stored inside this project. So there are basically three reasons why I'm so bullish on Orion Protocol and why fundamentally I believe this is absolutely one of the strongest players out there in the market right now, and the price just is not reflecting that so far, but I really think it's going to be about to. So the first thing, before we get into what this platform is, how it works, the tokenomics and all that, I want to give you the three main reasons why I think the fundamentals on this are so strong. So number one, Orion Protocol actually manages to solve a handful of the biggest, most painful problems for crypto traders in one platform, all in one. And if you think about the day-to-day struggles that you have or new people entering crypto have, these guys basically wipe most of them out. So that gives them a massive USP, and we're going to go over that. The second is the tokenomics. The way they have designed the Orion Protocol tokenomics for the ORN token to positively impact the ORN token price in the future is really smart. It's unlike anything I've seen almost in any other project in terms of how strong the tokenomics are. I think they compare actually to something like Thorchain, which is one of my favorite projects from a tokenomics point of view. And I think Orion's going to go on a similar kind of run. So we'll get into the tokenomics. And the third reason is the staking. So the mainnet staking, which is going to be live in Q1 this year, so hopefully not too long. That again has the potential to be what I think maybe the most profitable staking program in crypto. Again, just because the way they've designed it, it's not inflationary, it's sustainable, it's driven by actual revenue and things like that. So those three key benefits all together in one token make me think that the ORN token could be, one of the big performers of 2021, right up there, outperforming almost anything else. So before we get into it, I obviously want to make clear I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving financial advice. You should do your own research into this. I'm just giving you a starting point. I'm just telling you why for me, personally think this is, for me, a good investment, and it's up to you to decide if you think that's the same for you. So let's get into it. So what actually is Orion Protocol? What does the Orion Protocol exchange do? And as I say that, I should correct myself because Orion Protocol is not really an exchange. You might see this homepage, think, okay, it's an exchange token. Exchange tokens do pretty well. Okay, great. That's not the case. So this sentence here actually sums up perfectly what Orion Protocol is trying to do and why they think it's the future of trading, and why I actually agree with that. So basically, it's the first gateway to the entire crypto market. So they're trying to aggregate every centralized exchange, every decentralized exchange, and every swap pool into one platform, okay? And into one platform that's completely decentralized and non-custodial, so they don't have any control over your funds, access to your keys or anything like that. So it's basically one place where you can access the entire crypto market. So if you just think how well Uniswap, 1inch, things like that are doing, it's basically that, but on all of the steroids. So we're going to dive in and see how this works, because I think it's truly revolutionary. So they're basically trying to create a situation where, with this one trading terminal, which isn't an exchange, it's just a terminal that gives you access to everything else. With one terminal, you get access to the entire market, the best prices, maximum liquidity, and the deepest order books possible coming from everywhere, basically. And we're going to get into how they do that. Now, I said at the start of this video that the number one reason I'm so bullish is because they're solving a handful of the biggest problems in crypto all in one place. And they kind of highlight those here. So basically, they're trying to get rid of the need for you to exchange hops. So, you might want to buy a token. It might be on, X number of different exchanges. Some have crappy liquidity. Some you're not allowed to sign up to in your country, or you don't want to complete the KYC for. They want to get rid of all of that and just give you access to all of the order books for any token that you want to buy in one place without giving up your keys in a non-custodial way, okay? So one, making it easy to just buy anything from one terminal for the best price, okay? Don't give up control of your private keys. We'll get into that. Get the absolute best price, no matter where the best price is, regardless of if you have an account on the exchange where the best price is, okay? Again, so one spot, best price you could possibly get in the entire market. And fees and slippage are really going to be much less of a problem. They're going to be running on Elrond when their smart contracts are live, to be super fast, super cheap, and just lightning quick. Now, what I said at the start was that this is not really an exchange, it's an aggregator. So they're not trying to be in competition with exchanges. They're not trying to take on Binance, KuCoin, all the rest of it. They're basically just bringing them into one place, and it's actually going to benefit the big exchanges when Orion Protocol is up and running and live and doing what they're trying to do. So we're actually gonna go through an example of how this works in a second, because you might be thinking, how the hell does this work? I don't see how this is possible without KYC and all that kind of stuff. First, just a quick note on the team. I would definitely come to this page /about on their website. Have a quick look at the team. They have deep connections in blockchain, banking, cybersecurity, large-scale corporate IT projects. So this team is very professional. Their experience is deep. Everything that they do and the way they communicate, the way they design things, timelines and things like that, it's all very professional. So something that you don't see a lot in crypto. So what I want to do now is just talk about how this thing actually works and how you can get access to the entire market in one place without having an account and without having KYC and things like that. So Orion basically lives on something what's called a decentralized brokerage, okay? Now, basically, what they've done, they've designed a new staking model called delegated proof of broker, okay? Where their decentralized their decentralized brokerage is made up of a network of brokers who all have full access KYC accounts to different exchanges, whether it's centralized exchanges, whether it's access to all the decentralized exchanges, swap pools and things like that. And they basically make trades on behalf of users for Orion without ever touching their funds, and give you access basically to the entire market. So kind of want to give you a visual of how that works. So this is Orion in the middle. This is their terminal, okay? Remember, it's not an exchange, it's just a terminal that connects to your wallet via smart contract. And by the way, this is any wallet. It's not just ERC20, it's not just Ethereum stuff, okay? So what you're going to be able to do here, you're going to be able to log in, you're going to be able to, so you don't need a KYC to sign up to Orion, because it's not an exchange, okay? It's just a terminal. So you're going to attach your wallet to this, and then what you're going to be able to do, you're going to be able to go into their order book, and you'll see the order books from KuCoin, from Binance, from Uniswap, from SushiSwap, from this DEX, this DEX, this SEX, this SEX, centralized exchange, lending protocol, derivative protocol, and on and on and on, okay? So all of these branches are basically going to connect to one of the exchanges, whether it's a huge exchange that's you don't have access to in your country, whether it's a small exchange that has some really obscure pairs. All of these are going to be plugged into one centralized order book. So what you see when you're buying and selling in Orion is the best possible prices from all of these, okay? So I don't need to worry about where this coin's listed. Do I have access? Do I need KYC? Can I even get an account? Doesn't matter. I just log into Orion, I pull up the trading pair, and it is going to show me where it's available at the best price, where the liquidity is, and things like that. And if I want to buy, I just buy it straight here in a non-custodial way, and it gets routed back into my wallet. Okay, now you might be thinking, how is that possible? If I want to buy a coin that is on Binance, or that's where the best price is, that's where all the liquidity is, but for whatever reason I can't access Binance because I don't want to do KYC, or I'm in the US, or I'm bloody banned, or whatever. For some reason I just don't have access to Binance. Thinking, how the hell can I buy something through Binance through this terminal? Well, we mentioned just now the decentralized brokerage. Okay, so this is how it works. In the middle of Orion and Binance is going to be this guy, okay, or girl. 2021, we got to be inclusive. So this is a broker, okay? This is a broker in the Orion decentralized brokerage. Now, this person has a fully approved KYC'd top level account on Binance, okay? So they can buy and sell as they want. So this person has done KYC, so they have access to the entire Binance order book. So what happens here? I come into to Orion. I'm this guy. I can't use Binance, but I want to buy something from their platform. So I've set up on Orion, and I'm trying to buy coin A, and I can see it's available in the Binance order book. So what I do is I place my trade on the I place my buy order in a non-custodial way from my wallet through the Orion terminal. It then gets routed via Elrond when the Elrond version of the platform is live, through to this guy, okay, who was the broker with a fully KYC'd account on Binance. And then via smart contract in the Binance API, the platform is going to buy whatever it was that I just wanted to buy. This guy's account buys it on Binance, okay? My funds are sent. As soon as the tokens are in this guy's possession, they get routed back here to the Orion terminal, which then sends them to my wallet, okay, which is connected in a non-custodial way or decentralized. All right, so I have basically just made a purchase on Binance via this guy who was a legit KYC'd, confirmed, liked Binance customer trader. All right, so that's basically how it works. And then, somebody might have access to this account, somebody else might have access to KuCoin here. All of these different swap pools, decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges, derivative pools, lending pools, all of that is essentially going to be available in one terminal, and it makes absolutely no difference whether I have access myself. I don't need to try and get access or anything like that. So that is going to give me access to the entire market through one platform without having to use KYC, regardless of what the rules are of this exchange, because I'm not buying from this exchange, okay? This guy is. And then the funds are being transferred to me via the Elrond smart contract. So I hope that makes sense. There is more about how this works in the Orion Protocol white paper and some really handy infographics and things like that on their site. But this is how I understand it. And hopefully this, obviously I'm great with designing things like that. So I really hope that, that this helped you to understand that. Now, let's move on and start talking about some other things, because what we've just talked about is retail, which is obviously, those pain points that we've just kind of solved there. The security, best price at all times, non-custodial access, don't have to worry about being hacked. Four problems that we've just completely wiped off the table for retail traders, okay? Obviously, retail is going to be a massive source of volume for a platform like this if it takes off like I feel it's going to. However, outside of retail, one thing that Orion are going really hard on is enterprise adoption, okay? And this is something that you see being thrown around in the Telegram and things like that, but I think it's being overlooked in terms of how massive this is going to be, okay? So Orion are not just trying to make, the best, easiest, cheapest, fastest, most secure place for retail traders to access the entire market. They're trying to do it for enterprises as well in a way that gives them access to everything through one terminal in a way that's completely compliant and decentralized. Okay, so they have a couple of flagship products designed specifically for enterprises. So for other exchanges, for other investment companies, asset managers, and things like that. And I just want to touch on what some of these are, because they, like I said, I think they're going to be huge. The first one is the Orion Dex kit. So if anybody wants to build a decentralized exchange, obviously the initial problem they have is liquidity. Like, where the hell do you get all the liquidity from? Well, they can actually just plug straight into Orion and use their liquidity and have a decentralized exchange set up in a couple of hours. So then, all of that volume is then going through Orion, okay? The second one is liquidity boost plugins. So other exchanges, if they're struggling for liquidity for specific pairs, or they just want to make sure they have better pricing, they can plug, again, directly into the Orion terminal. Their users make purchases on their platform. It routes through Orion, following the procedure that we went through just now. And again, so you now have hundreds of thousands of other users that are, again, directly plugged into Orion. And then the enterprise trade widget is for specifically enterprise companies that want to offer crypto and blockchain investments to their clients. Maybe big private clients that aren't going to be logging into KuCoin and things like that. They're going to be able to give them access to the entire market in one place. Okay, and these enterprise products have already got huge adoption without them even being live. The number of partners and the size of the partners that they're announcing are very, very large. So they're working with people like Alliance Block, who, by the way, just signed a deal with the London Stock Exchange to give them access through Alliance Block, which are then going to plug into Orion. MobiPay, Polkastarter, PlasmaPay, Bonded Finance, all of these people on here, a lot of them are using Orion to plug in and offer their liquidity on an institutional basis to enterprise level customers. Okay, so I think that is going to bring a massive amount of volume into Orion, pretty quickly, and I'm going to explain in a minute why that's going to be so beneficial for token holders. And by the way, these are some of the people that have signed up to be part of the decentralized brokerage on launch for Orion. So these are not unknown people. These aren't guys trying to be a market maker in their parents' basement. They've got big exchanges, other huge protocols that are saying we want to be a broker and we want to route trades through Orion. So if guys like these are signing up, they can obviously see the benefit of having all this liquidity aggregated in one place. These are just the ones that are announced. There are a bunch of others that are currently announced. Lots of speculation about who they may or may not be, and we'll leave it at that for now. But I think the enterprise tools that Orion are building really set them apart, and is really going to bring a huge amount of volume into the platform. And again, we'll go over why volume is so key in just a second. Okay, this is a little bit more about the liquidity boost, which I think is personally going to be the number one volume driver on the enterprise side. Okay, so I've already covered this, but basically it just allows people to, whether they have a centralized or decentralized exchange that's struggling for liquidity or is new, instantly just access by plugging into the Orion terminal all of the other platforms. Okay, so it's going to give them a huge competitive advantage against other exchanges that are not using that. And these are some of the people who are already signed up to use this when it goes live, which is later this year. Okay, and I'm sure there's other huge names in the crypto space that are in the pipeline too. Like the standout one here is Polkastarter. They're obviously really doing some crazy stuff at the moment. So if guys like that are jumping on board, really bullish on the liquidity boost plugin. This is just more about the enterprise stuff that they're doing and companies signing up to that. So Alliance Block, obviously anybody that's paying attention to the altcoin market right now, seen that. I think it was yesterday. I mean, Alliance Block have been blowing up for the last couple of months, but yesterday they signed a deal, or they announced a deal with the London Stock Exchange to start offering crypto investment services, DeFi services to enterprise level clients of the London Stock Exchange and things like that. Alliance Block have been a partner for Orion for a while and are going to be using their tool to get liquidity for enterprise level clients in a way that's fully compliant, cross-border, and things like that. Okay, so these are the kind of guys that Orion are partnering with. Now, I want to talk about the second point that I made at the start of this video about why I'm so bullish on Orion, and that is the tokenomics. Okay, so the way that the tokenomics for this protocol have been designed are, I mean, they're dreamy. I really like them. Like I said, I think they're potentially as good as or even better than the Thorchain tokenomics, which I'm a huge fan of. And everything that they're doing, all of the products that they're offering, the fee structure, all of the revenue generation for this protocol, it's all designed to increase the value of the token, to reduce the supply of the token, and the supply is hard capped at 100 million. There'll never be more than 100 million, and there will never actually be 100 million in circulation. Okay, so basically, to summarize the tokenomics, at the moment, Orion Protocol have defined at least 16 different revenue streams that the platform can generate. And that's going to be everything that we've covered today, the decentralized brokerage, the DEX kit, the liquidity boost plugin, trading fees from the terminal like we went over. They're going to start doing lending. They're going to start doing start aggregating margin trading. They're going to make the biggest liquidity pool ever, which is going to generate fees. Okay, now everything that I've just mentioned and more, all of the payments and all the transactions are done in the ORN token. Okay, so the ORN token is so deeply embedded in this ecosystem. It is used for absolutely everything. So you've got all this demand for these services for the ORN token. You've got a capped supply, and you've also got burning, which is going on. Like some of these fees are going to be burned or sent to a wallet that's basically going to be locked forever to move them out of the supply. Okay, so everything that Orion Protocol does in terms of generating revenue is all designed to create demand for the token. Everything is paid in the token. Okay, so if you think about normal exchange tokens where it's okay, get a discount on fees, get a portion of the fees that come through the trading platform. Yeah, we've all heard that before. But Orion has this plus a million other things that are going to drive a lot more volume potentially than any one centralized or decentralized exchange could. Okay, somebody a couple of months ago, prominent member in the Telegram groups, Sai Arashi, has put this summary article together, which I will link to in the bottom of this video. It's a summary of the tokenomics, and basically I kind of like this. Why ORN is BNB on crack, and I mean it's a good point. It basically is. It does everything BNB does and a whole lot more, and we all know what the BNB token price has done. Over the last couple of years, it's been cemented in the top 20 for a while. So I would read this. It basically just goes through, the main points and how the token is used, why it's going to be so scarce, how it's going to be burnt, the massive demand that is going to be there for it. So I would definitely recommend reading this. Okay. Now, the last point that I wanted to go over about why I'm so bullish on Orion Protocol and the ORN token, and why I think the ORN token price in 2021 could really rocket if all this goes to plan, is the staking. Okay, so I mean they've just come right out there and they've made a staking page, and the headline is basically the most profitable staking in DeFi is here. Okay, so quite a claim. They're not being subtle. They're like, our staking program is badass. Here's why. So I'll link to this page. You should definitely read it. But I'm going to give you a summary. Now, anyone that's looked into the staking and potential rewards and things like that, there's a couple of estimates that have been going around, calculators, things like that, which are amazing, made by the community. I would cover those right now. However, from what I can tell, a couple of days, the team themselves are putting out a specific calculator. So when they do that, I'm going to make part 2 to this and go through, and maybe we'll look at some calculations and potential earnings and things like that. So I thought there's no point doing that before they just put out the official version. So I'm going to wait for that. However, I'm going to explain how the staking works. Okay, so if you come to this page, you'll be able to look through this infographic. I'm not going to read through it here, but just because that's redundant. But I'm basically going to summarize how the staking works. So essentially, if we go back to our award-winning piece of art here, we mentioned that every trade goes through the terminal, goes to a broker, and then goes off to an exchange and is made. With every trade, there's a small fee. I think it's 0.1% or something along those lines. I'm not sure if that's actually confirmed, but I believe that's what it is. 0.1% of the trade fee for the user of the ORN platform, okay? And that is split up between Orion themselves, between these brokers, like that is how they earn money as brokers, okay? Now, in order to get these trades, in order to be able to be selected to make this purchase on Binance or this purchase on Uniswap or this purchase on KuCoin, these brokers need to be staking a certain amount of coins, and they actually can have tokens delegated to them by regular Orion holders who are not brokers. Okay, so essentially, what you're going to do as an Orion staker, if you're just a regular holder, you're going to delegate your coins to one of these brokers, and these brokers are then going to compete with each other and say, okay, out of all the revenue we generate, we're going to send a certain percentage back to the stakers. Okay, so you can delegate your coins to a broker, and you will get a share of their revenue that they get for making these trades. Now, no one knows what this percentage is going to be yet. Okay, some people are speculating that it's going to be 30, 40, 50% of the broker revenue. Some people are saying it's more. What we don't know is what the fees are going to be in terms of what's being passed on, but we do know that all of these brokers will be competing with each other in order to get staked ORN from ORN holders, okay? So they're gonna have to give really great rewards in terms of giving their earnings back to the stakers. Now, that might sound great, it might not sound too revolutionary, but the calculations that are going around, and like I said, I will cover this in depth when the official calculator comes out, it's starting to look like the returns that you can get on staking ORN with calculations related to the daily volume that the platform could potentially get and things like that. The APYs that you could earn on staking are starting to look really, really healthy, as in potentially over 100% or close to 100% per year. And if that is the case, and that does hold true, then the incentives to hold this token and basically never sell it and just keep the passive income, which is going to go up and up as the volume through this platform grows, it's just going to be insane. Like, I can't think of any more of a self-reinforcing prophecy than the price going up, the volume going up, people seeing the APYs, they want to buy more, they want to earn more, the staking rewards are compounded, and I think it's just going to turn into a flywheel that just powers itself with as long as the volume goes up, the token price kind of has to go up, because people are just going to see the staking rewards and being like, I need to get in on this. So I personally think that the staking is just, the tokenomics we just went over just now are crazy, but I mean, staking is just going to pour gasoline onto this fire and just set it on light and blow the thing the hell up. I mean, I think it could be massive, and I've invested my funds accordingly. So I will go over staking in more details when we have something concrete from the team, which I believe is coming out very soon. Okay, and I just wanted to end on something related to the ORN token, or the Orion Protocol price prediction for 2021. Don't want to be too concrete here, but I mean, if we look at the likes of Uniswap, we all know what the Uni token's done over the last since it was released a few months ago. The market cap has just kept growing. It's basically a 4 billion market cap now, well inside the top 20. Okay. Now, obviously, Uniswap is a working product. It's gone kind of viral. Everybody loves it. It works. It has mass adoption. Okay. So it has that over ORN, obviously. ORN, the main version is not live yet. However, in terms of what it actually does, what it actually offers, and the token utility, it's nothing compared to what the ORN token is going to offer. So obviously we're assuming that Orion Protocol actually achieves what they've set out to do. But if they do, I think that the token is going to have way more utility than Uni. It's going to have way more utility than 1inch. And we've already seen what 1inch has done. It's broken into the top 100 kind of out of nowhere, almost 300 million market cap. Again, great project, nothing against it. But in terms of token utility, I just don't see how it can compare with the ORN token. And you got to remember as well, these protocols are they're just all ERC20. So Orion is going to be everything that Uniswap is, everything that 1inch is, but also every other chain, all the Polkadot stuff, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, everything, Cosmos, everything else that isn't ERC20, which I think people kind of forget. There's a lot of stuff out there with a lot of volume that isn't ERC20. Okay, so in terms of the ORN token, the Orion Protocol price prediction for 2021, I mean, right now we are, let's see where we are. So this is the Bitcoin chart. So, massive accumulation been going on for months now. You can see, like, whenever this gets to a certain level, it just gets pushed down. People are really stacking this. Right now we're at 293 as I record this video on January the 29th, 2021. I mean, personally, over the long run, if they achieve what they set out to achieve, I personally think that this could get to 100. I'm not saying that will happen. I'm not saying you should buy it because of that. But inside, when I think about the potential of this, that's where I think it can go. If we get a massive bull market, then, well, all bets are off. Anything's possible. But I'm not saying that happened in 2021, but long term, if they set out, what they're trying to achieve, I think the potential here is absolutely massive. So this has been a bit of a long one. Hopefully, it's given you some insight into Orion, why I'm so bullish on it. I will be coming out with part 2 that's going to go into staking in depth and the potential earnings that you could get. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's a new channel, so I really appreciate it. Make sure you add a comment below. That really helps me out. Add a question, just put a bloody rocket if you want. Or if you don't think it's going to work, or if you think there's something else better, say that as well. Like the video, but I will be releasing a part 2 very soon as the staking information is available. So really appreciate you watching. Please do subscribe to the channel, and I will see you soon for part 2. Thanks.